You've spent the day managing deadlines, attending meetings, and putting out fires at work. Finally, you sit down at your trading station, exhausted but eager to catch the moves you missed during office hours. The charts glow softly in the dim light, indicators blink, and every sudden spike feels like an opportunity you must not miss. That sense of urgency, the pull to not let the market pass you by, is FOMO, the fear of missing out. For traders juggling a 9-to-5 job, this feeling is amplified because the window to trade is smaller and every movement seems critical. FOMO is not just a mental quirk, it has a physiological footprint. When your brain perceives a potentially lucrative opportunity slipping away, cortisol and adrenaline surge. Your heart rate increases, your breathing quickens, and your ability to think clearly diminishes. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for impulse control, planning, and evaluating risk, temporarily weakens under this stress. Suddenly, decisions that would normally be measured and rule-based become reactive and impulsive. Cognitively, FOMO hijacks your reasoning. You begin to justify trades you wouldn't normally take. This setup is slightly off, but maybe it'll work. Or, I missed the entry earlier. I need to jump in now. The more your workday drains your mental energy, the easier it is for these justifications to take over. Even small deviations from your trading plan compound quickly when fear of missing out drives your actions. The consequences are immediate and visible in the account. Trades taken without proper setups, doubled positions, or ignored stop losses create drawdowns that feel personal and discouraging. Emotional attachment to a move can make a minor loss feel catastrophic. And because 9-to-5 traders have limited time, the urge to recover perceived lost opportunity often leads to revenge trades, further escalating risk. Consider a typical evening session. You check the news, notice a sharp movement, and see other traders talking about potential breakouts. Despite your predefined rules for entry, you impulsively place a trade. Moments later, the market reverses, hitting your stop loss. Your mind immediately starts calculating. I just missed it. Maybe if I re-enter here. That cycle repeats, fueled by the desire to make up for lost opportunities, creating a perfect storm where FOMO drives repeated mistakes. FOMO also has subtle, chronic effects. Each time you give in, your brain starts to associate emotional spikes with trading, reinforcing the pattern. It becomes harder to trust your plan and easier to chase the market with emotion, not logic. Over time, the account suffers and confidence erodes, not because your strategy is flawed, but because FOMO has hijacked execution. For 9-to-5 traders, FOMO is amplified by scarcity of time. Every chart checked during lunch, after work, or between tasks carries the psychological weight of "this could be my only chance today." Scarcity heightens urgency, intensifying the physiological and cognitive responses already primed by fatigue. Recognizing this interplay between limited time, mental energy, and emotional triggers is the first step toward managing FOMO effectively. Trading while managing a 9-to-5 job requires more than strategy, it requires energy management. Our brains operate in cycles of focus and fatigue, dictated by circadian rhythms, mental load, and emotional stress. After a full day of work, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational decision-making, has already handled countless choices, leaving fewer resources for trading. The temptation to chase the market during these low-energy periods aligns perfectly with the mechanisms of FOMO, creating a high-risk environment for impulsive trades. Situational triggers play a significant role in amplifying FOMO. Long commutes, intense project deadlines, or back-to-back meetings push mental resources to their limits. Even family obligations, such as picking up kids, preparing meals, or helping with homework, subtly drain focus. When you finally sit at your trading station, your mind is already fatigued. The market's rapid movements become disproportionately compelling, and the natural caution that would guide a well-rested trader is overridden by urgency. Emotional triggers also magnify FOMO. Frustration from work, guilt over not spending enough time trading, or disappointment from missed opportunities intensifies the compulsion to act immediately. When combined with a depleted mental state, these emotions skew risk perception, making small moves appear like major opportunities and minor losses feel catastrophic. Even traders with years of experience fall prey to this pattern if they fail to account for their emotional state. One practical approach to mitigate these triggers is tracking energy levels alongside trade performance. A simple journal noting mental and physical fatigue, emotional state, and situational context reveals patterns invisible to day-to-day observation. For example, you may notice that trades taken immediately after stressful meetings or during post-commute fatigue consistently underperform. Conversely, trades executed during high-focus windows, even if shorter in duration, are more disciplined, adhere to rules, and produce consistent outcomes. Another tool is structured reflection. Before trading, ask yourself, what is my energy level? Am I acting out of opportunity or compulsion? Can I follow my plan precisely in this state? These prompts cultivate awareness and interrupt automatic FOMO-driven behaviors. Over time, this conscious evaluation trains the mind to distinguish between high-quality setups and emotional impulses. It's also crucial to recognize that limited trading windows create scarcity-driven behavior. When your available time is short, the market feels like a moving train you cannot miss. This scarcity perception triggers dopamine-driven urgency, reinforcing FOMO. By acknowledging this, you can intentionally schedule your trading sessions for moments when mental energy is higher, even if the window is shorter. Quality outweighs quantity, and disciplined, focused trades will consistently outperform impulsive attempts to catch every move. Tracking situational and emotional triggers allows you to implement proactive interventions. For example, scheduling a short reset ritual, stepping away from the desk, stretching, deep breathing, or brief journaling before entering the market creates a mental buffer. Even a 5-minute pause can restore clarity, reduce cortisol levels, and re-engage the prefrontal cortex. This is the difference between reacting to FOMO and acting from a structured trading plan. Cognitive traps compound these challenges. Thoughts like, I can catch this move, I'll just take one quick trade, or I need to make up for lost time, feel logical in the moment, but are deceptive. They mask the underlying mental fatigue and emotional drive that fuels poor execution. Recognizing these mental patterns in real time, paired with structured reflection and energy tracking, interrupts the FOMO cycle before it can impact your account. By connecting situational, emotional, and cognitive triggers to energy management, a clear picture emerges. FOMO is rarely just about market opportunity. It is a response to exhaustion, scarcity, and stress interacting with a deeply ingrained desire for success. Understanding this relationship allows part-time traders to reclaim control over decision-making, minimize impulsive trades, and lay the groundwork for disciplined evening trading sessions. Transitioning from a full day of work to the trading screen requires more than willpower. It requires a structured ritual that recalibrates your mind and body. Without this, FOMO can dominate every decision. The first step is establishing a reset routine before you place any trades. Even brief activities, such as stretching, a short walk, or deep breathing exercises, reduce cortisol levels and re-engage your prefrontal cortex. Journaling for 5 minutes about your workday, emotional state, and energy levels creates awareness and separates the lingering stress from your trading mindset. Once the mental reset is complete, structured rules become your anchor. Establish a strict maximum number of trades per session. This is not an arbitrary limit. It protects decision-making quality and prevents the mental fatigue of chasing every setup. Use a pre-trade checklist for each entry. Confirm the setup meets all your criteria, assess your risk-reward ratio, and check that emotional impulses are not influencing the decision. These procedural habits act as guardrails against FOMO-driven deviations from your plan. Stop-loss discipline is non-negotiable. Many 9 to 5 traders, when confronted with FOMO, either widen stops, remove them entirely, or exit trades prematurely to catch a perceived opportunity elsewhere. By treating stop-loss placement as a fixed rule, you create a psychological buffer. The market cannot trick you into chasing what isn't yours, and your capital is protected from impulsive reactions driven by scarcity and urgency. Time management is equally crucial. Instead of attempting to trade every available minute after work, focus on high-probability setups within a condensed 30 to 60-minute window. This approach prioritizes quality over quantity, ensuring that each trade is deliberate and aligned with your strategy. When trading windows are limited, patience becomes your most valuable asset. FOMO often emerges from perceived scarcity. Shortening the session intentionally reduces the pressure to act impulsively. A practical system to transition from work mode to trader mode can be surprisingly simple, yet highly effective. Begin with a 5-minute pause away from screens, followed by a brief reflection on energy levels and emotional state. Then, review your trading journal from previous sessions to reinforce discipline and highlight setups worth pursuing. Next, perform a quick technical scan, focusing only on predefined patterns that match your strategy. Finally, execute trades with strict adherence to your checklist and stop-loss rules. Even within 30 minutes, this structured approach ensures high-quality decisions without succumbing to FOMO. Environmental control further supports sustainable trading. Minimize distractions by creating a dedicated workspace, reducing noise, and using only the tools necessary for execution. A cluttered environment mirrors a cluttered mind, amplifying stress and impulsivity. Lighting, ergonomics, and even background sounds influence energy levels. Small adjustments can dramatically improve focus and reduce emotional reactivity during post-work trading sessions. Monitoring energy throughout the session is essential. FOMO often spikes when attention wanes or frustration accumulates. Recognize subtle signs such as restless hands, repeated checking of unrelated charts, or rapid clicking. Pause, step back, and reset. These micro breaks are not lost time. They preserve the quality of decisions and prevent impulsive trades that stem from emotional triggers rather than strategy. Accountability mechanisms enhance long-term sustainability. Share trade plans with a mentor, trading partner, or even a peer group. External accountability reinforces discipline and reduces the likelihood of giving in to FOMO-driven impulses. Knowing that your plan will be reviewed encourages adherence to rules and promotes conscious decision-making rather than reactionary behavior. Finally, integrate reflection at the end of each session. Note which trades were executed according to plan, which were influenced by emotion or urgency, and how energy levels affected decision quality. Over time, this feedback loop trains the mind to recognize the early signs of FOMO, enabling preemptive intervention. Sustainable trading is not about eliminating opportunity. It is about creating a framework where opportunities are captured deliberately, not impulsively. By establishing reset rituals, structural rules, focused trading windows, and accountability, 9 to 5 traders can consistently trade in alignment with their energy and cognitive resources. The market may always present countless opportunities, but disciplined execution ensures that only the highest probability trades are taken. FOMO loses its grip when preparation, awareness, and structure guide every decision. Trading after a full workday is sustainable only when the entire system, mental, physical, and procedural, is optimized for consistency. One of the most overlooked components is aligning your trading routine with your natural energy cycles. Circadian rhythms influence alertness, reaction time, and decision-making quality. For a 9 to 5 trader, this means identifying periods after work when your cognitive resources are highest. It might be immediately after a short break, post-dinner, or after a brief meditation session. By anchoring trades to these peak windows, you maximize focus and reduce impulsive behavior. Sleep is the foundation of this system. Even small deficits magnify FOMO and erode discipline. A consistent sleep schedule ensures prefrontal cortex function remains intact, supporting rational decision-making and emotional regulation. Combine this with nutrition strategies that stabilize blood sugar and prevent energy crashes. Hydration, protein-rich snacks, and avoiding excessive caffeine late in the day help maintain steady mental performance, reducing the lure of impulsive trades driven by fatigue or irritability. Exercise and movement are equally important. Physical activity resets stress hormones and improves clarity. Even 10 to 15 minutes of brisk walking, stretching, or bodyweight exercises after work can dramatically reduce post-work cortisol spikes, leaving your mind calmer and more capable of executing trades according to plan. By integrating these habits into your routine, you create a resilient mental state where FOMO is less likely to dominate decisions. Workspace optimization is another pillar of consistency. A clean, organized, and dedicated trading space signals to your brain that it is time to focus. Minimize distractions, limit extraneous screens, and use only the tools necessary for execution. Visual cues and ergonomics are subtle but powerful influencers of energy, focus, and emotional control. When your environment supports discipline, the mental friction of sticking to rules diminishes. Accountability and reflection reinforce long-term behavioral change. Maintain a trading journal that tracks trades, emotional state, energy levels, and situational context. Review this weekly with a mentor, trading partner, or peer group. External accountability acts as a reality check, preventing rationalizations and impulsive decisions. Reflection turns each trading session into a learning opportunity, revealing patterns in behavior, emotional triggers, and the early warning signs of FOMO. Over time, this builds self-awareness and reinforces discipline. Consistency is further enhanced by structuring trading sessions around quality, not quantity. Limit the number of trades per session. Focus only on setups that meet all criteria and avoid the temptation to catch every move. This approach reduces stress, prevents overtrading, and reinforces the mindset that opportunities are always available. FOMO loses power when your strategy emphasizes patience and selective engagement. Mindfulness and emotional resilience are essential for long-term success. Techniques such as deep breathing, short meditations, or brief mental resets between trades help maintain equilibrium. Emotional regulation allows you to respond rationally rather than react impulsively when a high-probability setup appears or when the market moves against you. The calmer your mind, the sharper your execution, and the stronger your consistency. Ultimately, trading without succumbing to FOMO is about building a system that aligns with your energy, life obligations, and cognitive capacity. By integrating sleep, nutrition, exercise, workspace setup, accountability, reflection, and mindfulness, you create a framework that makes disciplined trading automatic rather than forced. The goal is not to eliminate opportunity, but to capture it deliberately, with precision, and without the emotional toll that comes from chasing every market move. Trade in alignment with your energy, protect your mental and physical health, and you'll achieve consistent results without sacrificing your 9 to 5 career. Commit to structured routines, disciplined execution, and self-awareness. Master FOMO, and you will separate yourself from the majority of part-time traders who burn out chasing every tick, securing both your confidence and your capital over the long term.